I woke to the mattress dipping, unseen fingers curling around my waist, and a hot breath at my ear. Fear tangled with something darker, and what happened after still won't let me sleep. I crawled beneath the blanket, hoping sleep would rescue me from the restless weight pressing on my chest all evening. The night was too quiet, the kind of silence that doesn't comfort but unsettles, every small sound magnified into something more. I curled onto my side, tucking my knees toward me, trying to shield myself against the stillness. That's when my shirt shifted, riding up just enough to leave a line of bare skin exposed. A meaningless detail on any other night, yet the air that grazed that skin wasn't cold. It was warm, intentional. I froze, waiting for the sensation to pass, but instead it deepened. The mattress at my back gave the faintest dip, as if someone had lowered their weight carefully beside me. My breath snagged, my chest rising in shallow bursts as I gripped the edge of the blanket tighter. My mind scrambled for excuses, the house settling, my imagination. Anything but the truth that whispered in my bones. I wasn't alone. Then came the touch. At first so faint I thought my nerves had betrayed me, fingertips drifting across my thigh. The contact lingered too long, tracing upward in a line too precise to be chance. My skin broke out in goosebumps, my heart slamming painfully against my ribs. I clamped my teeth over the gasp, clawing its way up my throat, terrified that sound itself would give permission. The mattress sank deeper, knees pressing into the sheets. My pulse thundered as the blanket tightened against me, though I hadn't moved a muscle. And then I felt it, breath at my neck, hot, steady, curling with the deliberate rhythm of someone savoring my stillness. I wanted to believe I was dreaming, that I would open my eyes and find myself safe in the dull glow of my bedside lamp. But the whisper that followed shattered that lie. Not words exactly, more vibration than sound, but its meaning curled clear and sharp inside me. Mine. I stiffened, every nerve screaming for me to fight, to thrash, to break free, and yet my body betrayed me. I trembled, not only from terror but from something darker, an ache I couldn't admit. Shame burned through me as I realized I wasn't only afraid. I was waiting. The air thickened with a scent I couldn't name, earthy, faintly sweet, intoxicating. I breathed it in without meaning to, the fog of it seeping into my chest. My fingers dug deeper into the sheets, but the touch came again, bolder this time, sliding up my side in a deliberate claim. My heart stumbled in its rhythm, my body trapped between the instinct to flee and the pull to surrender. And as I lay frozen, trembling, the truth settled in my bones. The night had only just begun. The mattress groaned under the weight that pressed closer, the shift deliberate, purposeful. My lungs struggled, each breath shallow and broken, but I couldn't force myself to move. I was pinned by fear, held by dread, and yet, traitorously, my body strained toward the warmth curling against my back. The touch returned, firmer now. Fingers, or something like them, glided over my hip, lingering as though memorizing me. I flinched, but the presence didn't retreat. Instead, it traced upward, skimming the line of my waist before pausing just below my ribs. My pulse thundered, my skin prickled with fire, and still I stayed frozen, clutching the sheets like they were the only barrier left between me and the thing that claimed me. I whispered a broken stop, though even I didn't know if I meant it. The silence swallowed the word, and the answer came not in speech, but in action. The pressure at my back grew heavier, unseen knees sliding closer, caging me in. My heart slammed so hard I thought it might split. The breath at my ear deepened, hot and steady, carrying a hum that vibrated against my skin, and then the whisper, not sound, not language, just one word that rang inside me, mine. I gasped, shame and terror colliding in my chest. My body shivered violently, and in the stillness I realized the truth. I wasn't only frightened, I was waiting, dreading, craving the next move. The blanket slipped lower, tugged by hands I could not see. Cold air licked across my stomach, and I clutched desperately at the sheets, but it was useless. The unseen grip tightened, holding me still, savoring my helplessness. My breath came ragged, shallow, every inhale tainted with that earthy sweet scent filling the room. Then came the rehook, the moment I thought nothing worse could happen. The presence shifted above me, lowering until I felt the weight hovering over my chest. Heat radiated downward, pressing me into the mattress, suffocating me with closeness I couldn't see but felt in every nerve. My thoughts spiraled, terror and forbidden longing twisting together until I couldn't tell one from the other. The touch traced higher again, stopping just short of where fear and shame collided. My pulse faltered, my body arched involuntarily, and I wanted to scream. And then the lamp flickered. Once, twice. A weak glow shivered across the room, and in that trembling light, I saw it. A shadow leaning over me, darker than the dark itself, its shape bending closer. My breath caught, my chest locked, and before I could even process it, the light died. The room collapsed back into suffocating black, leaving me alone, or not alone at all. The darkness pressed in heavy, thicker than before, and the silence rang like a warning bell. My lungs dragged in air too sharp, too shallow, each inhale tasting of that earthy sweet scent that clung to me. The mattress dipped again, harder this time, as if something massive lowered itself fully onto the bed. My chest locked. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. The touch came back, stronger, sliding up my thigh with deliberate patience. I shook, hands clawing at the sheets, but the unseen grip refused to let go. Fingers grazed across my stomach, pausing at the curve of my ribs before drifting lower again. The movement wasn't random. It was claiming. Every nerve screamed in terror, yet a deeper, unspoken part of me trembled in anticipation of the next pass. "Please," I whispered. The word cracked, useless. The only answer was heat, curling against my ear, steady, intimate, suffocating. Then the whisper came, clearer than ever, mine. The word rang inside me like a vow. My body arched involuntarily, shame tearing through me as I realized I had responded to it. The blanket slipped further, tugged away until the cold air wrapped around me. I gasped, clutching at nothing, trembling as the weight above me pressed harder, trapping me in place. My pulse thundered so loud it drowned out thought. All that remained was the rhythm of my shallow breath and the hum of something savoring me. The rehook came sharp. The bed frame groaned, a low creak as the presence shifted closer. Heat hovered just above my lips, so near I could almost taste the air it exhaled. My eyes clamped shut, bracing for contact for the moment everything would break. And then it stopped. The warmth vanished. The pressure lifted. The scent dissolved, leaving only suffocating silence. My chest heaved, air rushing in like I had been drowning. For a fragile heartbeat, I believed it was over. I opened my eyes, searching the dim room. Everything looked ordinary again. The dresser, the chair, the curtain. But then I saw them, 2 deep indentations pressed into the blanket at the foot of my bed. Knees. Still. Heavy. Real. My breath hitched, my hands froze, and I could only watch as the marks dragged slowly forward, closer and closer, until they reached the edge of my legs. I tried to scream, but no sound escaped. The fabric smoothed suddenly, the marks gone, as though nothing had been there at all. Yet I knew better. The silence wasn't empty. It was waiting. Even now, when I close my eyes, I brace for the weight, the warmth, the whisper curling against my ear. Because once something claims you like this, you never sleep alone again. Have you ever felt an unseen touch in the dark? Share your story in the comments. I want to read it. Don't forget to subscribe to Paranormal Sleep for more terrifying midnight encounters, because the next story might be yours.